Alright guys, this is inaccurate. So for the past week or 2 weeks, I don't know how long it's been, time's kind of eluding me since this whole lockdown and just playing. I have been searching the internet for just answers because I have had so many questions to a lot of things, and you might want to buckle the fuckle up because it's gonna be a long one, or just put me in the background, whatever. So while I was going through and playing Bloodborne, I was getting to the end, I was just going through all this stuff. I was just like, I have so many questions about what the hell is happening, why this is happening. I've been just going through the internet and just looking through everything, looking at all the posts, looking at all the theories, just to like satiate my curiosity. And what I found was that no one really has an answer. Obviously, because it's a FromSoft game, similar to Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that's just left out of the loop on purpose, so it can help people imagine stuff. But then it creates this ever-driving need inside of me that I want to fucking know what the hell is going on in the fucking video game I'm playing. Okay, so let's start with Rom the spider, and then like. Hey, they don't really explain anything about Rom, the Rom's the barrier between fucking rituals, the blood moon, and all this other shit that's happening in Yharnam. And, they're just like, okay, so what the hell is Rom? Like, is it a kin? Is it a great one? The PlayStation achievement says it's a great one, but, people say that that's not really true, we got it wrong. And then they're also saying that Rom is also was a scholar of Bergenworth that turned into the spider from experimentation from Wilhelm, and there's a bunch of other stuff. And then it also, from Mikolash's dialogue, it also said that Rom didn't have eyes before, and then Kaz was the one who gave Rom the eyes so that it would have more insight, and probably giving it the ability to create that time barrier shit that it's doing. And then the barrier itself, for some reason, prevents rituals and and the blood moon, and also for some reason Queen Yharnam. And you're just like, what the hell? Like, where's all this shit coming from? And then, Master Wilhelm, for some reason, I thought he was working with Rom, but it doesn't look like he's actually kind of working with Rom, because he points the hunter the direction of where Rom is. Like, you wouldn't work with a hunter that that's probably gonna kill Rom. You just pointed him in the right direction. And like, even after, I've heard that like when you kill Rom and you go back to Master Wilhelm, he doesn't point at the lake anymore. So obviously he does that on purpose, and obviously he has some back-ass knowledge about why you're supposed to do that. You're just like, well, okay, dude, and then you kill him, and then you get his ruin. It also says that Wilhelm is also ascended, or somehow he's tied to Rom. So, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, how do people ascend to, like, kin? Is it just because they fucking give eyes to people that they fucking transform into this thing? Like, like in the Altar of Despair, there's also Rom's dead body, which, okay, so, because I play Bloodborne, I have my own theory. Like, that's actually Rom's physical body. Like, was it? It said that Abridus found favor with one of the orphans at the healing church, and then gave her the knowledge, but then the knowledge was too much for her, and then she transformed into the spider. So then I think that's the physical spider body, and then the lake, which is obviously a dream because you're standing on absolutely jack shit, is a fucking dream for Rom. And then, the lake itself is supposed to serve as a bulwark defense, as described by the ruins, which kind of makes sense because the lake and water and the barrier, I guess, kind of tie into each other. So I'm just like, okay, I'll let that go. But, like, nowhere does it really say that Rom was, like, a scholar at Bergenworth, Rom could have just easily have been a fucking orphan at the healing church. And then, there's fucking Abridus just chilling out in the fucking upper cathedral ward with all those freaking celestial larvae lying around, which, okay, so it's pointing out that they're fucking orphans. So but then you go up to it and it's just completely passive, you know, like they're sympathetic to humans as from one of the item descriptions, and they're willing to help people and give them information, give them items and stuff like that. And they're usually not aggressive. And then, you know, like, so, like, even in the fight, when you fight a Breedus, which I think, like, you know, one of the moves it has is just, like, throwing up blood, and then you get frenzied. So I'm pretty sure the Healing Church got the blood from a Breedus, you know, and then once they got the blood from a Breedus, they started sharing it with people because they found out that it could cure things. But then it started turning people into beasts. Like, all of it doesn't make any sense. And then, like, the fucking blood moon, like, people speculate that, oh yeah, it's not really the moon presence, but it is the moon presence. And then the fucking moon presence is Odin. I was just like, that doesn't even, like, they pointed out some facts, like, okay, so because Odin is the moon presence, you know, like, when the moon hangs low, then everybody gets impregnated. And I don't think that's actually true, because I think Odin has, like, specific requirements to impregnate women. Like, obviously he's trying to create his own child, but I think the woman that he needs to impregnate has to be lined with, like, a lot of insight, or maybe some type of special characteristic, like Ariana with her vile blood, or Eostefka, you know, she's part of the Healing Church, but she has a lot of insight. Plus she also has the umbilical cord, which gives her even more insight. And then by the end, when you consumed all the umbilical cords, you fight the moon presence. Like, you know, because you have the umbilical cords insight, it rejects the moon presence. I was just like, well, okay, if Odin was the moon presence and you consumed those cords, and he was the one who impregnated the women, wouldn't the umbilical cords belong to Odin? So, like, why would his knowledge reject himself? And it also talks about Odin being a formless being, and that, like, you use blood echoes transcribed through the doll to give Odin form, but the moon was always there. It always had form. Like, if Odin needed form, it would be, I think it would be something more similar to the one Reborn, that it just needed a vessel, you know, like, it needs to create all this human garbage in one single place to actually take possession of it, as opposed to the moon presence, where, you know, you kill Rom, who the fuck knows how long the blood moon has been there. It's been there since the Miriam things. You know, it was in their society, and so it's been, you know, around for a very long time. It's had physical form for a very long time. I think Odin is just another great one, but he's ascended so high that he has no form. And then, you know, there's a fucking moon presence, which, like, who the hell knows why the moon presence comes to Yharnam? Like, there's some theories that say that he comes to Yharnam because there's, like, a child or, like, a baby there. You know, like, because it's attracted to a Great One's baby. You know, like, that's why it's attracted to Murgo, which is in the Nightmare, and that's why it comes as close as possible to the Ritual of Menses. And that's why it's turning everyone into beasts, because, you know, like, its overwhelming presence just, you know, what is it? Accentuates the Great One's blood. Like, okay, it's like, okay, I can kind of get that, because Lawrence and his associates are the first ones who kind of tried to get the moon presence, but Gurman was the only ones who had the audience with the moon presence and became his surrogate, which also kind of confuses me. Moon presence already has a surrogate, which is Gurman. Why would he need another surrogate or another baby? Like, he already has a baby, you know, like, shouldn't he be satisfied with the baby? But, you know, that kind of goes counterintuitive, because, you know, like, there's a Healing Church which already has a Great One, which is a Breedus, but then they still seek other Great Ones. And then, you know, Mensis already has the Brain of Mensis, but they rejected the Brain of Mensis because it was evil or something. So then they sought out even more Great Ones, which was Cause, which was the Moon Presence, which was the Murgo. Yeah, it's just like fucking everywhere, man. The Moon Presence doesn't make any fucking sense. Odin doesn't make any fucking sense. Why is he fucking impregnating women? You know, like, I understand he wants a surrogate, but he's impregnating every single woman. He's impregnating Isofeka. He's impregnating Ariana. He's impregnating the Yharnam Queen, which I already kind of know was probably done by Odin. You know, it's probably his doing again. Like, there was also another theory that Moon Presence was doing this because of his own desires. You know, he kills other great ones. You know, he's at odds with other great ones, and I don't think that's true. I think he, just like all the other great ones, are very benevolent, very passive, and you know, like he granted Gehrman his wish. He's helping the humans in that he's trying to stop the nightmare, which in turn will get him away from Yharnam. Because if Murgo's dead, then that means he has no reason to be at Mensis if he's attracted to Murgo being, you know, a great one's baby. You know, there's also the One Reborn, which, like, who's that supposed to be? Like, I've heard rumors that it's supposed to be like a recreation of Odin. You know, it's just supposed to be a vessel. It's supposed to be human garbage that is supposed to attract great ones or something, because it's just a mass of like blood and like human flesh, which is something they're also attracted to. So, like, who the fuck knows? And then the Chai Maidens are apparently with Marion. They're kind of tall and lanky, and you can see in like Nightmare of Mensis that they're also working with the Shadow of Yharnam, because they don't attack each other. So so obviously they're working together. Now it just brings in questions like, wait, are the Pthmarians working with Mensis, or are the Pthmarians their own kind of force? There's so many questions. And Murgo's wet nurse, like, is that an actual great one? She apparently she's also formless, but she creates her own form as well. God, man, like, what the hell is going on in this game? And like, I would say that, like, oh yeah, all my answers will be answered in the DLC. Well, it's fucking FromSoft, so I'm pretty sure it won't answer any questions. In fact, it will just bring up more questions. And by the way, that was only like a few questions that I had, a few train of thoughts that I have. I've had way more, but I can't remember because I've been talking for about like 15 minutes. And like, oh my fucking god, dude, like, where are the answers? I still don't understand. Miyazaki won't answer me because he's fucking working on Elden Ring. Oh god, dude, I'm looking so forward to Elden Ring too. Oh, oh god, this is torturing me. Oh yeah, there's also that theory where the doll was supposed to be Odin, which, I mean, like, see, I can believe that more than the Moon Presence being Odin, because it definitely feels like there are two separate entities. They're supposed to be two separate entities. You know, like the doll, you know, you see at the beginning, it was completely lifeless. Gehrman tells you to go, you can go F the doll if you want to. You're just like, I'm kind of creeped out. So you exit, and then you enter back into the hunter's dream, and the doll's alive. And I'm pretty sure that's just another Moon Presence thing, you know, like, it's supposed to be explained by the Moon Presence. But, you know, there was that theory where, yeah, she's actually Odin. She's collecting all your blood echoes. The umbilical cords are actually resembling that one part of your ear, which relates to the echo parts of the blood echo. And then she's using all the blood echoes to beef you up so that eventually you can beat the Moon Presence, and then you'll eventually turn into the squid thingy, which you'll pretty much be her child, her being Odin and her being the doll as well. But then I was just like, that doesn't really make any sense, because the doll is a doll, and the doll also cries when you give her the silver hair ornament. I'm pretty sure a great one wouldn't cry to that. Like, even if he's, you know, like, pretending. If she was Odin, then you're saying the doll is just going to random places and impregnating women. That doesn't really make any sense. And then, you know, there's also the thing with the brain of messes being messengers, like, or being a clump of messengers and being a clump of like human flesh. And then the fucking Winter Lanterns are the same. They're a clump of human flesh lined with a bunch of eyeballs. Why does a Winter Lantern have the doll's clothes? Maybe it was like a failed experimentation at creating a living doll and just became this monstrosity. Fucking none of this will ever come to light, because it's just up to player perception, right? Like, none of this really matters at the end of the day. Fuck. I think I've been talking for too long. Alright, well, I think that's enough. Like I said, this is not this hasn't scratched the surface of all the fucking questions and thinking I've had for this game. It's a fantastic game. I love this game. I just fucking wish I didn't have to buy a PS4 or a PS5 to play the DLC. Well, it's fine. Alright, well, see you guys later. Bye.